What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Cat, with Life and After Life podcast.
Hi, this is Fonette. Tune in, tune in.
Y'all tune in. So tonight, our topic is gonna be holding yourself accountable for your actions. And when we speak on this part tonight, take it to the head, not to the heart. Whatever we say, we just speaking in general. We're not speaking to nobody, and we're not speaking on nobody.
Correct. Period.
Go ahead. Holding what you feel that a person can do better holding themselves accountable for them. Now we can't speak on us, you know what I'm saying?
We can
Because
speak on us.
okay, we
We
can.
can
You're
definitely
right,
speak. We can speak on us
but
because it's a me moment as well. You have to, and I can say for me, when a person come to you about something, you have to always be receptive to feedback, or you have to put yourself in that person's shoes, because when we hold ourselves accountable, sometimes we may have said something, did something, not realizing. Because I'm gonna put it this way: you never know what a person going through, and you
correct.
may say something and you may not mean no harm about the way you say it, but you don't know what type of day that person's having. And sometimes we can say one thing that you got to always remember, you may be that person that puts that person over the edge.
Right.
So if a person, you know what I'm saying, even if they don't say nothing and you think about it, be like, well, dang, I could have said that a little better, or I could have did something different. That's holding yourself accountable, because at the end of the day, we have to always be open to, number one, constructive criticism, being checked,
Right.
because I mean, you have to be, even in relationship, family ship, you have to be open to being checked, whether it's
Correct.
something positive or negative. Because guess what? If I'm doing something and you feel like, hey, you don't like how I did it, or it's
Right.
something that I could have did better, you should be able to check me,
Right.
and it's all out of love. And I could sit back and be like, you know what? You're right. I could have said that better. I could have did that better. Guess what? That's out of love, and I accept it and hold myself accountable. Be like, you know what? Let me work on me on that, and then we move on.
Correct. I feel you on that. I most definitely feel you on that. But some people can't accept holding themselves accountable. Um I feel like a lot of people feel like when you tell them they wrong, or you try and make them hold themselves accountable, they feel like you judging them. It's not that I'm judging you. I'm just telling you that if I'm telling you something and me and you like that, you should be able to take any kind of criticism that I throw at you. Whether it's gonna hurt your feelings, or whether, you know what I'm saying, you feel like I'm telling you right or wrong, don't feel like I'm judging you.
But that comes with growth. It comes with, number one, is growth and maturity. Because
Correct.
at the end of the day, if I'm grown and I feel like, and we got that relationship, and you check me or I check you, we should be able to respect one
But
another.
a lot of people ain't got that yet.
And that's
A
why
lot of people haven't got that
and
yet.
that's why we be in the situation that we be in, because instead of people saying, you know what, let me sit back and evaluate. Because at the end of the day, let's take it here. Okay, you might be having a bad day, right?
Correct.
And I might text you something.
Correct.
I might be having a good day when I text it, but because you having a bad day, when you read it, you automatically be like, "Oh, she with that bull jump,"
Right. Correct.
and then you will
But
respond
that's the
by
person who haven't got there yet.
correct,
That's
but
the person who haven't got to where they need to be at mentally in the head.
correct.
Because your mind can have you your mind can have you in a fucked up place.
I agree, but you may call me or you may respond,
Correct.
and I'm like, well, dang, let me call her, and I'll be like, hey, sis, when I text you, I didn't mean that. I
Right.
was saying it in such and such way, and you'll be like, you know what, that's my bad, because at the end of the day, I always tell people, even when you have a conversation on a text message, sometimes it'll come across a certain way. But when I call you and be like, sis, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it this way. That's for you to be like, you know what, sis, that's my bad. I'm having a rough day. You know what I'm saying? I took it.
That's holding me accountable.
Agree.
But just like I say, you know what I'm saying, when you speaking on how we can't speak for other people.
Agree.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing what I say all the time. You can't look or search for you or know that you in other people, because it's not there.
And you know what? Let's talk about, since we talk about accountability, let's get a little deep.
Most definitely we about to.
Because we parents. Let's talk
Correct.
about that. A lot of times as parents, we don't even hold our kids accountable.
That's why
And it starts with our kids being young.
That's why it's a lot of messed up people now.
It's a lot of messed up people. It's a lot of, and I can speak black on black crime.
Correct.
It's a lot of things when it comes to our community because we, as a community, we don't hold each other accountable. For an example, when we were coming up, we knew if our parents worked and our mom said don't open that door, if we open that door, we got our butt toe up.
Correct.
Or if the lady across the street called your mom and been like, never open that door, I went over there such and such. We don't do that no more.
Right.
We as parents, we don't even hold our kids accountable. We always try to justify, for an example, your child getting in trouble in school, you automatically say, oh, the teacher don't like them.
It was the teacher. Right.
It ain't always the teacher. It's our kids,
but parents know their kids because your kids
Correct.
do that with you. So what make you think they ain't gonna do it with another adult?
But they don't hold them accountable. And guess what happens?
Right.
It becomes a cycle. It comes from them being little kids doing things to becoming teenagers to becoming adults. And it goes from, for an example, you let your baby steal a piece of candy out the store. Oh, child, they stole a piece of candy. He. It's funny.
Right.
But you don't beat them or you don't chastise them for it. Then it start being other things. And then when they get grown and start robbing and stealing and hurt somebody, then you be like, I don't know how they turned out like that. Yes, you do. It started as kids.
Right.
And we didn't hold them accountable. We didn't hold
Correct.
ourselves accountable because we should have been checking our
Correct.
kids. So, when we talk about accountability, it's a lot of things that come with that.
Right.
And even as us, we have to hold ourselves accountable. And a lot of times I hear people say with kids, well, they wasn't raised like that. No, all kids wasn't raised a certain way, and they may turn out how they chose to turn out because that's how they turned out.
Right.
But 7 out of 10, they was, and we as parents, we turned our head, we turned the deaf ear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we just felt like, oh, they'll be all right. But that's why we have so much. That's why our jails are filled with young black men, and now young black women. And it used to be a time where we would be like, oh, black people didn't do that. But not black people doing it all.
You can't say who doing it now.
Correct. But we doing it all now.
But you know what I really think the problem is? People don't know how to own up for they don't like to own up to their wrongs. When people do wrong, I try and get on this pod and I try and pacify and clean shit up. Just the night, I don't give a damn who don't like it. I'm finna be me. I'm tired of like cleaning shit up, pacifying to save people feelings. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be me regardless. I'm to a point now, and I've been saying this for months and months. You got to remove that title away from people and hold their ass accountable for the things that they do. No matter who it is. I don't care who it is. Mama, sister, brother, cousin, daddy, husband. You got to hold their ass accountable for what they do. When you don't, if you tolerate and you don't tolerate shit from nobody in the street that don't hold a title to you, don't tolerate it from somebody that hold a title to you. How you do that? You remove that title from it. Remove it from it and hold people accountable for whatever they do.
That's right. Because
guess what? If you keep allowing them to do that same thing, guess what? You ain't doing nothing about it. You ain't stopping it. So guess what? I'm finna keep doing it. I'm finna keep doing it.
Yeah, keep poking the bell. Yeah. And
then when the bell get woke up, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
Me, I'ma hold me. I'ma hold me down regardless. And I'ma hold myself accountable for whatever I do. Especially when I know that I'm wrong. I'ma hold me accountable. And I'm be like, yeah, I messed up. Yeah, at some point I do feel like my character, because my character gonna speak for me. 365, 24/7. My character gonna speak for me. I'm the same person. But when a person is tired, a person is tired. We all human. And when I say we all human, just because you never see me act like that don't mean that I don't have it in me.
That's right. Yeah.
It's okay for me to come out of character at some point. I can't walk around like I'm Miss Perfect all the time because that's not me. It's a bear in me. I could get angry. I could come out of character. But I only come out of character when needed to. That's me taking accountability for me. Some people don't have it in them. Because some people walk around all day long like you did everything to them and they ain't did nothing to you.
They want to be the victim.
Most definitely want to be the
Want to
victim.
play the victim. And that be the thing. Like, I just realized even with people, we be then, and
Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying for me, just a me moment. You know, we be there did so much for people, and it's like after people say you tell them yeah 1,000 times, but that one time you tell them no, you ain't never did that for them.
Never.
You never did that for them. And my thing is in life, you got to be real. You got to be real with yourself, because at the end of the day, one thing about it, what go up, come down. And don't burn no bridge that you're going to have to cross back over.
Right.
And I understand when the old people used to be saying don't burn your bridge, because guess what? I'm not a person that I act on emotions. So when I get there, I'm there. Because I didn't, it's like now I didn't let it build up and build up and build up. Then when you explode, it's oh you nasty, oh you mean.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm there at some point, but I act off emotions. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I deal with people. The energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I vibe with people, from their energy.
But let me say
That
this.
discernment is a motherfucker.
Right, but when I say act on emotions, when I say that you act on emotions, but you're not a person that if something come to you that you just be aggressive and you
No, I wouldn't say that.
That's what I'm saying when I
No.
say act on emotions. You're a person that when something come to you, you kind of sit back and kind of dissect it a little bit
Right.
and try to figure out why
Right.
it's that way.
Right.
So when I say act on emotions, you have people that as soon as something come, they automatically just act on it. They don't
Correct.
really do no research on it to figure out,
Correct.
you know, because for an example, okay, if somebody came to you right now and be like, oh, I was talking about that and she said such and such about you, you gonna be like, no, that ain't sus character.
Right.
And then you gonna sit down and be like, well, what made them even feel like say that? So let me get sus on the line and ask her what sus. Such and such said such and such. What was the conversation? What was said or what was had?
Right. Right.
And but you might have another person that'll be like,
right.
Oh, I seen Vanette. She said what, and that person be like, oh, let me call her. That's what I'm saying when I say
Right.
act on emotion. So
Right.
it's different because again, like you said, it goes with growth and people being who they are.
Correct. Correct.
But in the same token, you would have been like, well, sis, this was brought to me. And I would have had my time to be like, well, sis, it wasn't said like that.
Right. It wasn't
But
said like that.
if they took it like that, that's my bad because
Correct.
I didn't say it like that.
Correct.
And that's why at the end of the day, we have to not hold yourself accountable. It breaks a lot. It breaks a lot of fences. And
Okay.
sometimes some fences can't be mended because of pride. And along with accountability is pride. You got so many people that's so prideful.
Right.
Till they feel like, oh, I ain't got to apologize or I ain't got to say that. But guess what?
But at some point when they do that, they still sitting, because you know what I'm saying, they still sitting and they pointing at you.
Right.
Pointing at you because you telling them they wrongs, you telling them they rights, like, but they still can't hold themselves accountable. Anything that you say to them, it could be something positive. If that's in their mindset, they still gonna think it's negative.
Correct.
No matter how much you try and clean it up, switch it around, they gonna always feel like it's negative because that's them just that's their mindset. Some people don't have holding themselves accountable in their mindset because I feel like they still stuck in that mental space. They got to clean themselves up. Meaning they self up, meaning they hard up. They gotta take some time to themselves and they gotta heal.
Yeah.
Cause at some point, a person that can't hold themselves accountable, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Mentally.
And you ain't gonna never be able to heal.
Correct.
You ain't gonna never be able to heal.
Correct. It takes some mental healing to hold yourself accountable. And a lot of people ain't got to that stage yet. And when you can apologize to a motherfucker that done you wrong, that's a motherfucker holding themselves accountable.
Right.
For you and the other person.
Yeah.
Some people ain't got there yet.
And not only that, also with that, that's where your peace come in at.
Right.
Because a lot of times we be so bottled up into
right
when a person be there did something and people don't understand holding grudges, bro. That's a heavy weight.
It
That's
most
a
definitely
that's
is.
a heavy weight to hold. And sometimes, guess what? I used to never understand when we was little, and even still to this day, they say you have to pray for your enemies. And I used to be like, what? Why I got to pray for? But I understood it as I got older because
Yeah.
guess what? Me allowing you to have that control over me, it ain't even
It's a
worth it.
lot. It's a lot of energy.
It is.
I ain't gonna tell you no lie. And you know what I'm saying? Like this my part. So I can be me. I can be real. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Everybody know because y'all know y'all watching me. So I went through a situation the other day and I felt like I let the enemy take control over me. Because I knew, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that I'm not human, but I allowed the devil to take over something in me that pulled me out of character. You know what I'm saying? Every Friday, every week I get on this pod and I speak about positivity, I speak about love, mental, I speak about all the things that we go through in life, that we still going through in life. And I never felt, me speaking on it, I never knew that I experienced it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and the sad part about it, it don't be people in the street that hurt you. It be people that you love.
So let me ask you this: you always been that person? Well, let's be real, because it's your podcast, and we're gonna
Right.
keep it 100.
Right.
I done had a conversation with you about certain things that happen, and you'll be like, "Well, sis, you got to always remember, everybody ain't like you."
Everybody nine.
And you are, and you, and
They
we,
hard ain't my heart.
they are, and you used to tell me that, and it have been times where you'll tell me, "Well, don't do it no more," and I go back and do it, and then you be like, "But your heart is your heart." But
Correct.
guess what? The thing about it is, at the end of the day, when you know that you done did everything in your power and you done did right,
Correct.
even when you hurt, you won't heal good, because at the end of the day, you don't have to never second guess yourself and be like, if I woulda, coulda, shoulda, or if I did this, or if I
Correct.
did that.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, one thing about it, whether it's family, friends, whoever, at the end of the day, that hurt don't do nothing but make you stronger.
It does.
But one
It
thing I'm gonna
does.
tell you is that at the end of the day, everybody ain't the same. So if God bring another person in your life to do something,
Correct.
you can't have a wall up and be like, "Oh, I ain't doing it because ABC burnt me, or because this person didn't do right by me."
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, the Bible says you never know when you entertain an angel. God might bring somebody. God might bring a lady to the door and be like, Can I just sweep up for $2?" But we didn't let people come in to sweep up for $2 and they just stole 5.
Correct.
And we'll be like, "Oh no, you can't come in here because the last person came in here, they stole."
Right. Correct.
Guess what? We can't be like that.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, when you know this is pure, one thing about this right here, when your heart pure and a person know your character and know you for you, I don't care what nobody say about
They
you.
can't take it away from
They can't
you.
they can't take it away
They
from
can't.
you.
They
And
can't
that's the
take it
thing
away.
about it. When you know who you are,
I know who I am.
even in the midst of the storm, guess what? God will give you a peace that'll surpass all that.
And that's just what I mean when
And
I
when
say
I tell
that.
you that hurt, guess what, baby? We could be here all night. I could go through a whole milestone
Correct.
of the things people that hurt me.
Correct.
But guess what? My husband, we had a conversation about this the other week. Because one thing about me and my husband, we talk. And I went to him and I told him about something that was said and done. And you know what that man told me? He say, "So you gonna sit here and be mad when you say you trust God?"
Right.
And I look, he said, "You say you trust God." He said, "You tell me about God all the time, and you coming in here mad. You gonna let a person steal your joy, have control over you, and you be
Listen.
mad, and ain't even in no situation even be nowhere near where
That's
you
what
at."
I had to tell myself the other day. Girl, you yell about being in your peace all day long, but you let the devil come and
That's
disturb
right.
your peace.
Right.
Guess what, y'all? I had to pull away. And when I mean pull away from everybody, even social media. I'm only on social media to do this part. But sometimes you got to separate yourself, not for others, but for you,
Your peace.
to keep your peace, your sanity. Because let me tell you something. You can be so caught up in every fucking body else's life till you lose yourself. And guess what them people gonna do while you around here mentally messed up, right? You around here crying, figuring out why people doing this to you. The people gonna go on about their life, and guess what? They're gonna find another motherfucker to do it to.
Yeah. And that goes back to this. We be steady. I'm gonna put it like this: we brick masons. We steady giving people our bricks, and when we look around, we ain't got a brick to build
We
our
ain't
own
got a-
house.
What? Who you telling?
Because we done gave out all our
You done
bricks
gave,
trying to
you done
get
gave them out to everybody. You ain't
everybody.
got nothing for
You don't have
yourself.
nothing for yourself. And I didn't learn about my piece. Let me tell you something. People look at you and they don't even know the pain that be behind your smile.
Don't even know it. Don't
A
even
person
know
will look and be like, oh, she doing this, she doing that.
She got it.
But they don't
She
even
okay.
be knowing what, because we out here, this life for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's life. And guess what? You know the sad part about it? This is what I don't understand. Why we be so mad with the people that hurt us? Why we be so mad about it?
No, they don't be mad at the people that hurt them. They be mad at other people.
This is what I'm saying. But what I'm saying when I say be mad,
Right.
for an example,
Right.
somebody do something to me, and I'm real
Right.
mad at the person who did it. But why am I mad at the person who did it when they done showed me over and over again who they was from the start?
Right. Correct.
So it's like,
correct.
I'm mad when the signs was already there. And I'm looking like I'm real deal mad. And I don't know why.
Right.
I'll be hard down mad. And then when you sit down and you think about it and you evaluate it, you be like, why was I even mad? When God that showed me over and over again
who this person
was. But
who this person is.
It's because of the title and the love that they are. We just keep sweeping it under the rug. We one thing about us, we'll sweep something under the rug in a minute and be like, oh, that's such and such. Oh, that's the neighbor. So the neighbor been like that 20 years. But the neighbor been showing you for 20 years who they is. So when they do something, why we be mad? You can't. You got to hold. One thing about me, I learned that at the end of the day, our peace is everything. And let me tell you something. We have people that real deal be out here struggling emotionally. We have people struggling emotionally and mentally. And we don't even be realizing people be real deal dealing with stuff in life for real. And it could be that one thing that'll send that person over the edge. So you got to be mindful when you're dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something that you have to take into consideration. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. And at the end of the day, life is life, and it's accountability. And I'm gonna talk about something real quick if you don't mind, sir.
Go ahead.
On Monday, my son will be dead 5 years, right? And I remember the night that my son took his last breath. And I remember Sis was there, and everybody was like, oh, she just walking around. She did, she that. Like, even at the viewing, I was passing out fans. I'm getting people napkins. Like, people was acting like I was they was like, dang, she walk around like she a usher. And people was like, how you do it? I say, you know what? At the end of the day, when you know you done did all you can do, it was nothing that I could do or say that was gonna change the situation
at all.
It was nothing I could do that was gonna bring my child back. But I knew at that moment that when I left that hospital that night, I had no regrets as a mother. When I got in that car, it was not one time I was like, well, maybe if I would have did this, that, and that. Because guess what? I was a mother that I always held my son accountable for anything that he did. If somebody called me and said, oh, trouble this, trouble that, I checked him. You understand what I'm saying? And it's sad because we as parents, we losing our kids every day. And you know why we losing them? Because we don't hold them accountable. We pacify them. We know our children be out here doing things.
Correct.
And if we as people benefit from it, we don't see no wrong in it.
Correct.
But then when the tables turn, and it hits your door, and you got to get that knock or that phone call that your child no longer here, now you want everybody in the world to come forth and be like, what happened to your child? But when your child was on the other end, causing somebody else's mama to cry, it wasn't that being said.
Right.
Y'all swept it under the rug.
Correct.
But when the tables turn, it's, oh, I want this person to get on. I want this, that. That's not the way that it works.
It's not.
Cause guess what? Man, listen. I could get so deep, but we ain't going there tonight. But I'm gonna say this. I remember I still got on my phone a screenshot when I sent somebody a parent, and this is what I said. I say, as a mother, and we're both raising black sons, let's sit down and have a conversation. Cause I want to bear my son, and I want you to bear your son. You know what they told me? Oh, my son ain't doing that. Get what I said? Okay.
Right.
I left it like that. They son got a whole docket number right now,
Right.
and I'm like, it's some things that could have been avoided had you held your child accountable.
Right.
We got to hold ourselves accountable, whether it's our kids, our family, ourselves. Like she said, we got to stop taking these. We feel like when people do something because they be family or they be somebody, they be our friend or somebody that we acquainted with, that we can't hold them accountable. Oh no, I'm holding you accountable. Because guess what? I want you to hold me accountable.
And when we hold ourselves accountable, while we holding ourselves accountable, we go to figuring things out. Then you be like, damn, I can't even be mad no more while I let these motherfuckers hurt me. Because guess what? I keep allowing them to.
Oh my man.
I keep allowing them to hurt me.
Y'all know what? I felt so stupid. It was an incident happened. And my husband said, just what you just said. He said, how you gonna be mad when you keep allowing them to do it?
You keep allowing them to do it.
And I was so mad at the moment. I said, he said, you can't beat me get mad.
Correct.
He said, you gonna beat me get mad. And I went back, you know what I said? No, baby, I respect it. You right. Because guess what? He had that told me, don't do this, don't do that. Guess what? It's me still going to do it.
Correct.
So guess what? When the blinders came out and it showed me, he was like, but you already knew, but I tried to tell you. And
as my sister say, sometimes you gotta take your hand out the lion's mouth.
That's it. Let it be.
Let it be what it is.
That's what it is. But I learned. And guess what? We ain't never too old to learn.
Everybody learning. We learn
every day. But the only difference, my motto is that I want to be a better me tomorrow than I was today.
Correct.
I ain't in competition with nobody but myself.
These people, they so stuck back in time, like them motherfuckers back in the future or something. They don't want to change. People don't want to change.
But you got to understand.
People comfortable being that way.
That's correct. They are comfortable because you got to understand being positive and doing something. Okay, prime example. It don't take. We just gonna be honest. It don't take nothing to sell drugs.
It don't.
It's easy because guess what? You can sell dope. You get money.
Correct.
But when you want to, guess what? When you out there in the streets, everything easy. You got the money. You got everything. You got the basics. You got the food. You got everything that you need.
Correct.
But when you want to change, a lot of resources get cut off.
Correct.
And it be hard because when you so used to, one thing about doing good is hard.
Correct.
Doing the wrong thing, it come easy.
Right.
So sometimes people don't want to work for the change. They rather just keep going with what it is because it's comfortable for them. And that goes again with growth. Because guess what? What I did in my 20s, I don't feel like I should be doing in my 40s.
Exactly.
Meaning, if you look back at your life,
correct,
20 years ago, something should have been that change. We shouldn't still be doing the things 20 years ago that we doing today.
Me, my personality,
all that,
mindset,
the mental people state, that you be around, all right.
That. And people, you know what I'm saying? People like, at some point in my life, I used to be scared to lose people.
But sometimes
I'm to a point now, I'm not.
Let me
That's
tell you
holding myself accountable.
Let me tell you this. And it's for me. If I can live without my son, who you think you is? If you can live without your grandma, who the next person is? Let's be real. Because it's people we didn't close caskets on that we genuinely love.
And genuinely love me back.
And genuinely love us back. So what make the next person feel like they better? Because guess what? If I can go on with a person that I know I'm never going to see no more, baby, who you is? Because guess what? You ain't bringing me what you bringing me anyway. So guess what? And I'm sorry, but that's just how I be. Like, baby, I lost people on the way. Guess what I say? Who y'all is? If I can live without my son, somebody I cared for 9 months and raised for 18 years, baby, who you think you is?
Correct.
Because guess what? The love that we have for our kids, our grandmamas, and stuff like that, baby, that be genuine. And they gave us genuine love back. And sometimes loser people ain't always bad. See, that's where the problem come in. Sometimes we feel like loser people along the way be a bad thing. No, because guess what? We might all be on the same road, but we ain't on the same path.
Correct.
So sometimes God will allow you to go through certain things and start moving people, because this is the thing. We always ask God to remove and reveal. Then when God start removing and revealing, we don't know how to take
We
it.
confused.
We
We don't
confused,
know.
but that's what you ask God
Right,
for.
right.
When you ask do that, one thing about
Right.
God, when you ask God for something, and God gonna do it, but sometimes we have to be specific. But you got to be ready,
Gotta be
and how
ready.
God gonna do it.
Got to be
Because
ready.
God might not do it the way that you want it done, but God will
Most
do
definitely
it.
got to be ready.
So guess what? When you ask God to give you a peace and remove anything that's not of Him, that's keeping you from going to the next level, when you start seeing things and people being moved out your life, and then you be like, dang, well, why this happened? Why that happened? Then you got to remember you asked God to do this. So, and guess
Right.
what? Sometimes it could, not trying to be funny, it could be your own children.
Wow.
It could be your children, it could be your family member, somebody close to you. Because guess what? At the end of the day, y'all got to always remember, we can't see what God sees.
Correct.
God see this right here. We as people see, we go by actions. We can't see inside here. God see all this. God see this, and He know this.
And people think all day long, cause they can give and they change just a little bit like that, that they done changed somewhere with growth.
But if your heart
That's
ain't
not.
in it, it
There
don't
you
matter.
go. Correct. You can be done change your mindset. You can be done change your lifestyle. You can be done change several things about you. But if your heart ain't where it's supposed to be
It
at,
don't matter.
then you ain't changed.
You
You
ain't
still the
changed.
same
That's
person.
right. Because guess what? Let me tell y'all something that I hate. And this me. When y'all see homeless people on the corner and y'all get them $5 or y'all feed them, why y'all have to bring it to social media?
Oh, I
It,
just gave him
if you gave this person something or you did something for them, Facebook ain't got to always know, because guess what?
right.
If you doing out the goodness of your heart, God knows.
Correct.
You ain't got to tell the whole world. And then they be wondering why people don't like to ask people for help or like to ask people to do something, because guess what? It might be a person really be in need, and you will do it, but you got to tell everybody that you done did it. Why?
Correct.
If you doing out the goodness of your heart, ain't nobody got to
Why
know,
you
because
gotta
God
tell
knows. You
somebody?
ain't got to tell nobody.
Correct. Correct. You're right about that.
And I don't be understanding that. Like, why? If you real deal doing something out the goodness of your heart, ain't nobody got to know, because one thing about it, God knows. And that's where we get our reward from.
Right.
We
That's
get our
crazy.
reward from the man upstairs. So, I mean, for me, Facebook don't validate me. I'm just who I am. I don't have to get on
Shit,
Facebook.
not even Facebook, just people
People
in
in general.
general. People in general think their opinion about you is what makes you. I don't give a damn who don't like me. I don't care what your opinion is about me. I don't care what you think about me. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna be me.
Correct.
I'm still gonna be me. Cause let me tell you something. You will have a person that'll look at you for all the wrongs before they look at you for the good. And you could be one of them people that always feed the homeless. You could be one of them people that always give to somebody that's in need. Every time somebody you just giving and giving and giving and giving. But that one.
But the thing about it is, that's the world that we live in. And you know what? I learned. I didn't been, and I'm just saying for me, I didn't been hurt so bad and so much by people that I genuinely really loved and cared about. Like, I mean, like, I really went against the grain for certain people. And then some people I went against the grain for because who they was connected to.
Correct.
To help them.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? And it was like, with me, I'd be like, well, they ain't never had this, and I want this. But
that's you making excuses for
that, and you know what?
That's you making excuses for
correct. But I learned sometimes we be interfering in God, getting God way.
Correct.
We started trying to do something when God trying to do something else.
That's us. That's in us enabling them as well.
That's interrupting
yeah, that's us enabling them as well, because somebody can keep doing something. You know what I'm saying? You know they doing wrong. You know they ain't right. But then again, that be us enabling them, pacifying them. No, they need this. No, they need to do this because of that title.
That's right. Yeah. I guess what? Title don't matter to me no more.
Right.
Because guess what? My piece is everything. Yep. And that's just what it is.
That's where I'm at now too.
And I'm not being funny. And I just had this conversation. Let me tell you something. My baby will be gone 5 years on Monday. And it's just some people that I just don't even want in my circle no more. I don't want them in my circle. I don't want them in my life. Like, I love you from a distance. And it's okay.
Right. Right.
And it's okay. And
Right.
it was so much to we as people, we be so attached because of titles and be thinking that we supposed to. No, we don't.
Right.
We don't have to put up with certain things that people do because of who they are. It's really a downfall because we're enabling them.
Correct.
So no, all that's dead. It's out the window. We're not doing that no more. Because guess what? If you disturbing my peace, I don't want no parts of it. And that's just it. I don't care who you is, because guess what? Even if I'm around you and I'm in your place, your house or whatever, and I feel like my peace being disturbed, I get in my car and go home. Because guess what? At home, that's where I want it.
And that's so funny that you said that, because like you be like allowing people to do certain things to you for so long, and then when you take back, I ain't even gonna say just take back things. I'm gonna just say, you know what I'm saying, when you come to realization and you take you back, your life back, your feelings back. You know what I'm saying? Your morals back.
That's right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you go to thinking like, I've been giving to a motherfucker who don't even care, you know, like
care nothing about you.
Don't care. Then you gotta think, listen.
They care about what you can do for them.
It's all about me now.
Yeah.
My self-love, my self-loyalty, most definitely my self-respect. Because if you disrespecting me and you allowing somebody else to disrespect me, you ain't got no type of love for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, at some point in your life, you got to take your life back, and you got to draw the line on certain situations. Yeah. And just you can't care who get mad.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about you being a certain way. It ain't about you doing a certain person a certain way or doing a certain thing. It's about, at some point in your life, own up to what you do and hold each situation as if it was somebody else doing it to you. How, you know what I'm saying? You gotta
put yourself in their shoes.
You gotta put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
I ain't finna take this disrespect for nobody else. So what make it different that I allow it from you know what I'm saying? Whoever it's from.
I agree.
You at some point you gotta draw the line and hold this person accountable. I agree. No more. You know, like,
let's talk about it on this term. Even with married couples.
Correct.
Okay. And we just throwing out there. This ain't got nothing to do with neither one of us.
We speaking.
But for an example, you married, and you go out and cheat, right? And you get caught.
Right.
And your mate be like, why you did it? The first thing I always hear people say, oh, well, my husband or my wife said they cheated because I wasn't doing such and such.
Right.
No, you got to be honest and be like, I fucked up.
Correct. That's holding you accountable.
That's holding you accountable. Don't go and try to justify why you did something wrong. Because guess what? The same thing that you went out there and got from that man or that woman was the same thing your husband or your wife could have gave you at home.
Correct.
So you have to own it. But also, if you keep allowing your person to go out and do this and do that, and you never hold them accountable, you keep accepting it, then you F out. You F out because guess what? At some point, you got to be like, listen, bro or sis, we ain't doing this. Right. So if this what you want to do, then me and you going to part ways.
Right.
Because at some point, you got to hold yourself accountable. And because me holding myself accountable, I'm not selling for that.
Correct.
And you holding that person accountable saying, because you're not going to treat me like this.
Correct.
So I'm not accepting it. You're not going to treat me like this. And if you feel like, because I'm no longer going to let you treat me like this, that Correct. You mad, then you just be mad.
Right.
That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Because guess what? You can't keep poking the bear. And you can't, I'm going to use this as an example. You know, when we was little, you know, people used to always pick on the little less fortunate kids, right?
Correct.
Because they'll be like, well, they got on hot boxes, this, that, and that. No, like literally, because that's what it was back then. Oh, they poor, they dirty, they piece of this, that, and that. And people used to always pick on these people. But one time they be there picked on them one too many. And they come out swinging and fighting. Oh, dang, you ain't have to beat them up like this. You ain't have to do that. But it was all right long as they were being tortured and bullied and
Correct.
mistreated.
Correct.
Now that they defended themselves, it's a problem. No, now you got to be like, see, all that time y'all was doing such and such to them. Now they didn't react it. You can't even be mad. Because guess what? You got to be held accountable for all these times you done did this to this person. Now they coming out their body. Because guess what? A person gonna let you do something for so long before you push your person in the corner and bitch, they gonna come out fighting, scratching, screaming, or whatever. And that's just what it is. But the thing about it, let me ask you this: is a person worth you losing them for? Like, is your actions really worth you losing a valuable person in your life? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if I know that I walk with you and I did something,
I'ma change that.
I'ma
I'ma change who I am, or at least
Uh,
sit down, talk. Well, what's the problem?
correct.
What am I doing wrong to change the way, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
My actions. I'm at this point, I want to hold me accountable for what I'm doing.
Right.
So at this point, what can I do to change my actions?
Correct.
Or change me?
Right.
But that's that growth part.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? With change is growth.
Correct.
A lot of people not ready for that.
But this is the thing. Either you're gonna be stuck and life gonna move you by, pass you by, and you're gonna be stuck in the same thing and you're never gonna accomplish nothing.
Correct.
And that's just what it is. Okay, prime example. You think if you go to work every day and you clock in and you don't do their job, they're gonna continue to pay you? It's gonna be at a point they're gonna be like, now she never coming here for.
But some people feel like certain things that certain people and certain things are obligated to them, versus if you was going to work on somebody else's job, you would give them a different performance.
And that's a promise. Okay, we're gonna use you.
Right, correct.
You do my nails.
Right.
Right? I can't come in here and be like, I want $100 set for $50. But I'm gonna go pay the chance the whole $100. That ain't the way it works. When you go to Walmart prices is what Walmart prices is, right? Ain't no change in no prices. I don't care. Even if you're an employee, you still paying Walmart price.
Right.
You might get a 10% discount, right, but you're still paying their price. Because guess what? That's what you stand on. That's what it is.
That's the boundaries.
That's its boundaries. Because guess what? At the end of the day, we done had this conversation plenty of times. What I say, business is business. And I always say that.
Correct.
I don't never come in here and be like, oh, because we've been walking 10 plus years that I'm supposed to come in here and get $120 set for $50. No, right. I have to pay you just like, because if I went to them people, I'm going to pay them too. Because guess what? At the end of the day, she'll tell you, my motto is business is business. We separate sister from sister, but business is business. Because when I come sit in your chair, I'm your customer. Right. And that's just what it is. People cannot feel like they entitled because of who they are.
But a lot of people do.
And they do. But guess what? That's where we have to come in and we have to change that perspective. Because guess what? If we nip it in the bud first quarter, it ain't no 34th quarter. It ain't no finale. See, we let stuff go on for so long and so many years. And I'm speaking for me. I didn't let stuff slide for years. Now, I'm at that point where I'm done. I ain't tolerating nothing. I don't care who you is. Family, friends, whatever. I ain't tolerating it. Guess what? You could be mad because guess what? At the end of the day, when I go home, I'm sleeping on a pillow piece. I ain't tolerating. I'm just mad. I ain't doing it no more.
And I don't care. Like,
I ain't doing it. And it's just what it is.
Now where I don't care about any of that because see, I know who I am at the end of the day. I know what I do. I know what I hold, and I know my heart. And that's the thing. I'ma hold me accountable for me. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna admit that I'm wrong. I can admit that I'm wrong. Yeah. I can put my fucking big girl panties on and I can suck that shit up and I can admit that I'm wrong. I can hold myself accountable. But just like I say, you cannot look for you and other people. And that's because I'm holding myself accountable don't mean that they're gonna hold themselves accountable. They're gonna own up to their rights. Some people not ready for that. But you got to realize just what you just said. We got to stop looking for us and other people. Yeah. Let me tell you something, and this is the thing. We sitting on this podcast right now. The number of hairs you got on your head is totally different than the number of hairs I got on my head. Right. The number of DNA is totally different. Because you know why?
God made everybody unique for how He wanted them to be.
Correct.
So the uniqueness that God gave you, the next person ain't gonna have it because everybody's different.
Right.
It's just the decisions that people choose to make. Because guess what? We all was born. We all had to go through the teething stage, the walking stage, going to school, getting a job. But you know what happened? In that time frame of growing up, it was choices and decisions that you made that was different than choices and decisions that I made and choices and decisions that other people made. We all had the same 24 hours in a day. People just
Right.
chose to do different things for their 24 hours.
Right.
So it's now that we're older and we sit and we be feeling like because we took this route and we're this way that people are supposed to be that way, and that's not always the case. So now we have to sit back and be like, you know what? They just who they is. And I just got to accept it.
Yeah.
We don't like one thing about us, we don't like to accept people for who they is. We can know a person a crackhead and they call us and say, can they come clean our house? And we know they gonna steal.
But
But
still allow
because
them in there.
we know, oh, that's my uncle or that's my cousin, we let them in there. When they steal, we be, now why they stole? Why you let them in?
Right.
You know they steal.
Right.
That's just what it is. Instead of saying, you know what, now I ain't even. You already
Not
know what
today.
you do.
I already know what you do.
So to keep us from
Not
falling
today.
out,
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna let you do
I
that.
ain't
But
gonna do-
I'm gonna send you $5 through Cash App,
Right.
and we're gonna be done with it.
Correct.
We got to start. We got to start doing it.
Right.
We be so busy worrying about the effects from when we start holding people accountable. That's our problem. We be so worried about the backlash and what's gonna be the repercussions and the responses from it.
Right.
But if you really rock with me and I rock with you, I should be able to tell
Right.
you.
And be wanting to be one-sided.
No.
Want me to hold myself accountable for
But
me, but don't want to hold yourself
that
accountable
ain't the
for
way
you.
it works.
Like it be one-sided.
The seesaw
Like,
go up and down.
Right. You can do it, and what you do, you right, but whatever I do, I'm wrong. Like
the way it works.
nothing that I do, I'm right. Nothing that I do is right. No matter when I know me, I know how I am, but nothing that I do is right. But whatever you do, ain't, you know what I'm saying?
But one thing about the scale move.
It most definitely do.
If you got too much weight, the scale go down.
Correct.
If you ain't got enough weight,
Correct.
the scale go up.
Correct.
If it's equal, the scale move be like this. I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that.
Most
if we ain't
definitely.
here, I don't want no parts of it. And that's just what it is. Because guess what? I ain't bringing nobody up to my level and I ain't stupid down to nobody's level. Either we going to be equal and we're going to be on the same page or it just ain't that. It don't matter who it is. And that's just where I'm at in life.
But I just come to the conclusion that some people just like their life like that.
And it's okay.
You know, some people like chaos.
But this is the
some
thing.
people like,
and they do.
Yeah, they don't like to be
But this is the
accountable.
thing.
You know, and then when you go the other route and say, hey, listen,
I don't want the chaos.
I don't want the chaos. I like the peace. You know what I'm saying? Correct.
But guess what?
Correct.
But guess what?
Correct.
If it take me being a bad person, then I'm gonna be the bad person. Because guess what?
Me.
I ain't no longer explaining.
Correct.
I ain't going out my way, and I ain't going back and forth.
Guess what?
Because guess what? At the end of the day, when I get in my little car and I ride home, I'm good.
And damn sure ain't about to go insane.
Listen, what the devil brought to you to make you go insane didn't work. This ain't gonna work either. Because one thing about this is the part that we fail to understand. The devil be on an assignment.
Most definitely.
And people keep
and what people fail to realize, even though you feel like you know people, them people be on that assignment for the devil.
Did you not?
Whether you listen, y'all
I
better wake up and better start pulling the mask off of people.
I just made the post the other week saying that people be sent on assignment to literally destroy you.
Destroy you and your peace.
And you don't
Because guess what? They don't like your energy.
But this is what
they don't like that light.
But this is what you got to remember. The Bible says people come to kill, steal, and destroy. And when they say destroy, that can be your peace, your household, your finances.
Right.
When they say steal, that mean that it don't always mean steal a personal belongings. It can be your peace, your
energy,
emotions, your energy, all that.
Because you could be just
killing. And when we say kill, it don't always mean killing a person like murder. It could be killing your peace, your vibe. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things. At the end of the day, one thing about the devil, he be on assignment.
On assignment.
And you got to always remember, but one thing about God is who he is. Ooh, yes, and at the end of the day, God gonna always protect us from the things seen, unseen, known, and unknown. But sometimes God allow things to happen
for
to
us to
show
wake up,
you
to show you, look, this
who
person ain't who you thought it was.
correct. Because at the end of the day, we be so complacent and so comfortable with who people are
Correct.
that
That title
we accept it.
That title ship.
Let me tell you something. God don't even accept it from us. So you think if God don't accept it from us, I got to accept it from somebody else?
Correct.
I ain't doing that.
Correct.
I don't care who you is. I don't care what part you play in my life. If it comes to the point where you're disturbing it,
you got to go.
I don't want no parts in it.
You got to go.
Listen.
And it's not being mean. It's not being cruel.
It's protecting my peace.
Correct.
That's all it is. And it's okay.
Because I'm trying to tell you, when you listen, like when you not in that space, like that's it. Like I'm just being me. That right. Shit can have you in a fucked up place, man.
And not only that,
I'm talking about to where you feel like you questioning everybody.
That's right. Your emotional state.
And before I get like that, who I think got me feeling like that, I'm gonna just remove you from around me. And I'll be broke. My heart be broken. And you know what? And I don't even think my heart, but I think I was disappointed more than anything.
Yeah, that's what it be. It don't be your heart.
It be the disappointment.
Because we be thinking, dang, that person really did that.
Correct.
That's how I be like, dang.
Correct.
And guess what?
It be the disappointment for me.
But you know what I learned? Who are we?
Correct.
Let's be real. Satan was one of God's angels.
Right.
Look how he did them. So we got to understand things happen. And we just have to be able to deal with the consequences of what it is. And we have to take it as a lesson to be learned.
Correct.
Everything ain't always bad, because sometimes it be good things. But we, as people, one thing about us as Black people, when certain stuff happen, we be all emotional. We be
very emotional.
We do. And I do,
like I said.
And I do it all the time. I just had an incident last week.
We human.
I had an incident last week, and guess what? I went home. I called my husband. I was snotting and crying. I was just so mad. He told me, and I couldn't do nothing but hold the phone. He said, I don't even understand why you mad.
Right.
They been doing it.
Right.
And I'm on the phone like, in my mind, I'm like, that ain't what I called you for.
Yeah, just been allowing it to happen so long.
But he checked me, and guess what I said? You right.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. You right.
Yeah.
Guess what? Right them little tears, shook it up, and went back to doing what I was doing, because I had to think about it. People be showing us the sign.
Yeah.
We just be so blind.
No, it ain't even blind. People show who they is, but because of that entitlement, you don't be wanting to see it.
That's what I'm saying. So that's like
you don't be wanting to see it because
we don't be wanting to accept it.
There you go.
We don't be wanting to accept it.
You just don't.
Guess what?
Like, nah, this ain't what it is.
Just think about it like this. We just gonna use our kids. Say for instance, we put something down. You put your phone. You put one of your rings down.
Right.
And one of the children pick it up. Now we know they didn't took it, but we don't. We won't say nothing. Just say you won't say nothing to your husband like, oh, me picked my ring up and took it to school. We'll just act like it ain't never happened, instead of saying, nah, you took my ring to school. Don't take my ring to school no more.
You took my ring to school. I can tell you.
Right, but I'm saying, but this is stuff that right, but this is what we be saying, because that's our baby. We'll be like, oh, she ain't mean no harm. This baby don't do it no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's because that's the title. That's our child. So we allow them to do something. No, it ain't none of that. I don't care who you are, mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, uncle. Guess what? When it comes to a problem, guess what? If it get that bad and I have to cut me off, I'm gonna cut me off.
That part.
That's just what it is.
And that's what I be saying. That be my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like some people get offended when you back up or you step away. Some people not stepping away because it's not that they don't love.
But they don't even know what you be going through.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I see people walk around me mentally broken, mentally all that every day, mentally self-medicating themselves, all that. Before I allow myself to get to that point, I'm going to separate myself to get myself together.
That's right.
And people don't like that. People like, you know what I'm saying? People like.
But this is the thing. It ain't that people don't like it. People don't respect it and they don't understand it, because they are not there yet. They're still growing. So that's why. Because at the end of the day, guess what? If I don't hear from you in a couple of days, I'm going to just text and be like, sis, you good?
Correct.
I ain't going to just assume, oh, you acting funny. Because guess what? People be going through some real things.
Like really, and that's the thing. People think that they the only one that's going through things. People so used to you being so strong till they feel like that you don't have your weak moments.
But strong people be needing strong people.
Most definitely, all the time. And guess what?
We be needing it too.
Strong people be strong for everybody but their damn self.
That's correct.
And guess what? When we as strong people need somebody, we ain't got no damn body. We bite up into a corner, you know what I'm saying? Pulling ourselves together. Ain't nobody here to fucking help us. Everything gonna be all right.
Right.
You got this. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. But we so busy trying to make sure everybody else straight till we fucking forget about us.
Yeah.
We forget about our feelings.
That's real.
And while you so busy being there for everybody else, you mentally breaking your damn self down.
And people don't understand, like, people be mentally broken.
Right, correct.
And people just be feeling like, because they see you, like, out, and right. I'm going to just say, like, they see you doing your nails, you be doing your podcast, right. They see me out hanging outside. But, bro, like, they don't be knowing, like, deep down inside what really be going on.
What I go through. You know
like,
what I'm saying?
People be like, people don't understand. Like,
they don't.
Dog, it's real out here. Like,
most definitely real. If a person like knew what I went through a day,
yeah,
y'all will look at me totally fucking different.
For real.
You know what I mean?
But
and I ain't talking about just business wise. I'm talking about mentally, mother wise, wife wise, all that. You know what I'm saying?
People don't be understanding.
Like, I got a lot of people depending on me.
That's right.
And for me to allow somebody to come in and try and take that energy away from me to stop what I got going on, I pull away because I got a lot going on. And I noticed that these past couple of days, my head was so fucked up till I couldn't think. At the end of the day, I'm going to speak on me, holding me accountable. I'm a phenomenal ass woman. I do a lot of things. God blessed me with a mind that I can craft anything. Anything you put in front of me, I can make it out of a craft. When I can't mentally sit there and do what I need to do, as in holding my business down, holding me down to think, I got to remove whatever the fuck around me that's stopping me from doing what I need to do. Because people can be so mad at that. Not necessarily saying that it's jealousy, but I'm just speaking on people can bring an energy around you. They ain't even got to be mad, but you can have so many talents so people don't like that. They don't like that for you.
They don't like that. They don't have to like.
They don't like that for you. And it's not that I be bragging or boosting on me. That's just me. God made each one of us different. We got something else that makes us who we are, that stand out from the next. I'm just one of the ones that was blessed with talent. Was one of the ones that can craft. Don't mean because I'm one of the chosen ones that you're not. You just got to find what's in you.
What works for you.
Exactly.
What works for you.
But see, some people not like that.
But this is the thing. At the end of the day, we can't keep trying to hold people and pacify people. If they ain't like that, so be it.
Right.
It's nothing
right.
we can do. We got to I'm so tired of we feeling like we have to do things because no, we don't.
Right.
And that's just what it is. We don't have to. You understand what I'm saying? So guess what? If they don't rock and roll, that ain't on us. Everybody been given the same 24 hours, 7 days a week. Right. Whatever they chose to do with it, that's what they got to do with it. It ain't on us no more. We be feeling, and then we want to feel guilty about what we do. Well, let me explain something. I'm not feeling guilty about nothing that I do. And
I think that's just me. That's my heart. I had a tendency to take other people's problems and
we
put
can't
them
do
as
it no
my
more.
own.
And that's why. And
somebody could be done wrong me, and I still feel sorry for them. I still feel bad.
But guess what? That's because God has made us who we are. But at the end of the day, God ain't see be no fool either.
Correct.
It's a difference between common sense and being a fool. I'm not being a fool. I didn't been a fool. I ain't been a fool for nobody. Right. If I done did and you done showed me who you is, I'm done. It ain't. I don't care what part or what ties you play to me in my life. I'm done.
And then people they watch you, and they watch how you move. They watch your life. The first mess up,
They be waiting on
They
it.
be waiting on it.
Didn't I just say that earlier?
They
People
wait
wait,
on
they
you.
wait on your
They
downfall.
wait on you to fuck up.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna use this as an example. Your husband posts you on Facebook, right?
Correct.
My wife this, my wife that. I can say my husband either or, right?
Right.
Somebody see one of our husbands at the store, and they could be having a conversation with somebody.
Correct.
They'll snap a picture and send it to somebody. Be like, oh girl, he was just posting her on Facebook, but he's talking to this lady right here. It could be a casual conversation. It don't even mean that. It might be, oh, you clean buildings. Oh, I got a contract for you. Oh, you cook.
Right.
I need you to do a catering. People be so ready for a downfall that I feel like, and I tell people
because that's their mindset.
That's
That's their life. They life so messed up
correct
and shambles, so they want yours to be the same
right.
way.
And not only that, I didn't learn with people that people real deal be waiting and wishing bad to happen to you.
Right.
But they wish bad to happen to you now. But long as you was doing what you was doing for them, it was all right. But now that y'all not where y'all was supposed to be or where y'all used to be,
Right.
now people want to make your whole world crumble.
Correct.
And them making your whole world crumble may not even be our mindset of a whole world crumbling. They might feel like your whole world crumble if they flat your tire. That ain't our whole world crumbling to us. You know what I'm saying? So it's just people have a different perspective on different things. But at the end of the day, guess what?
And they be waiting for you to fall.
Yeah, they do.
That be the thing. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
People gonna act like they fuck with you so hard.
Let me tell you something.
But they'll sit and watch you, and they'll watch you just to make sure you not make it.
That's correct.
Like, it be so funny, like, as long as, you know what I'm saying, I'm just being real. As long as we on this live, the views will go up and down because we ain't being messy.
Yeah,
I noticed that even when I was on that live and I did what I did the other day, put myself out of character. At one point, I had 150 people on the live. By the end of time, you know, I just deleted it. It was like at 3K.
Yeah.
They'll wait for us to end it and then go and watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we speaking positive.
Absolutely.
And people be looking and you know, they be happy about that. Oh, she ain't got no but 10 people on her live right now. She only got 5 people on her live right now. They watching because they don't want you to succeed.
Correct.
They don't want you, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's that mental state that people be in. They don't want you to go nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
They feel like, because guess what? That's them judging you.
Yeah.
She already got enough going on.
Yeah.
She don't need nothing else going on.
I agree. But you know what I realized? What people feel like it's supposed to destroy you, God make you stronger.
Correct. Because you know why? Let me tell you something.
God will not mean to interrupt you. God will put a situation in your life because people will be sitting there waiting on you to downfall and destroy.
And I know that's what it be.
And God already be shifting.
I know that's what it be. Because let me tell you something. While we being real, you know, I was even gonna speak on something else tonight. This wasn't even gonna be the topic tonight. Y'all already know what the topic was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But God, you know, people had other, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it as that. And I wasn't even gonna do it because my mind, I wasn't there mentally. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then I had to pray, and I went and talked to one of my brothers, and he was like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's what it wants you to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Continue to be you.
That's right.
Continue to get on there. Continue to, you know what I'm saying? Talk to somebody. You don't know who that's gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you don't know who it's gonna reach, who it's gonna help. You don't know. Continue to be you.
That's right.
And let me tell you something. God said, be in your truth. And when God spoke to me and said, be in your truth, never once that I knew that the same thing that I get on here and I speak about every Friday that I knew I was going to, I never would have, it never would have crossed my path that I was going to have to experience it.
Yeah.
So when I speak for other people, I can speak for me on that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We don't expect that because
at all.
We feel like we don't expect that and we don't deserve that because we are who we are. So we feel like when we are giving out good and we're sowing good,
right?
We feel like we're gonna always reap good, but that ain't always the case. Yeah, you do reap what you sow, but you gotta always remember it's gonna always be obstacles along the way.
Correct. Everything it's gonna be rough. Everything start out rough.
But it's life.
It is most
And
definitely.
we just have to learn and accept it. But this is one thing that you have to always understand. When God is for you, who can be against
Who can be
you?
against you?
And when God, one thing about God, no man can open no door that God closed.
That God, that who you
And ain't
telling?
no man can close no door that God. This
Okay,
one thing
just
about
saying.
God stand on His word. And at the end of the day,
Correct.
when you, one thing about it, at the end of the day, when they say, and this is why people don't, where people get it twisted. When God say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," that's when that time comes, and you know, long as that your heart is pure and you done did everything that you need to do, you can't
Correct.
worry about. Let me tell you something.
Right.
You can't worry about nobody else.
Correct.
Cause I'm so
Correct.
we be so caught up in worrying about how other people feel about
Feel
us
about us, but
and
see,
what other people think about us.
that's when you know when you don't care what people think about you. That's when you know you in a different space.
Cause one thing about God, at the end of the day, that man sit high and he look low.
At most
Cause
definitely.
one thing about it, when people be around here digging ditches and doing things under behind the scenes, one thing about it, when you did that one ditch, you got to dig two. And that's just I'm just a firm believer in that. And one thing about God, see, one thing about the God, He omniscient and He present. So at the end of the day, when we be, you got to realize when we be asleep at night, the devil be on the path. God already be working in our behalf.
Who you telling?
Because you got to always remember, God protect us from the things known and unknown, seen and unseen.
Correct.
It's a lot of things that we don't get to see. Because one thing about it, see, people fail to understand, they don't understand this. We be dealing with spiritual warfare. We don't know that we are dealing with them all the time.
And let me tell you something. You know the song, I don't mean to cut y'all. And you know what song been playing in my head the whole time. And I just been singing it and singing and singing and singing. God has had my back in the midst of my enemies.
That's right.
And I ain't even have to beat it.
That's right.
Let me tell you something. I felt that with everything in me. I felt it with everything in me. It don't even be the people that you least suspect that's trying to destroy you no more.
It's never going to, this is what you fella understand. When the devil work, it ain't going to never be somebody you expect.
Correct.
Because it's one thing about it, I always remember what old people say, you keep your enemies closer. You keep your friends closer than you keep your enemies now, because it ain't always your enemies.
It ain't. It be the neighbor.
It could be anybody.
It be
you understand what I'm saying? But I just now learned one thing about it. Let me tell you something. People can say what they want to say. One thing about God, He is so real.
All the time.
And at the end of the day, the little stuff that we be going through, we be thinking it be so bad, it be so big and so bad.
It be people going through worse things than us.
Let me tell you something. We sitting here, guess what? When we leave this podcast, we get to go to something we call home. Ooh. And when you walk in that door, you got people that's greeting you
with love.
With love. You understand what I'm
saying? Let me tell you something.
Dogs, like,
let me tell you something.
Let
me tell you what that she talking about. And I'm trying to tell you. And it's on God. It's on everything I love. Even in the midst of that chaos I was going through. When I got off that live. And I couldn't even think. I got my children, they sitting there watching me, they angry. And then I got my husband.
That's right.
My peace.
That's right. That's right.
You hear me?
Yeah.
My peace. In the midst of every storm, He keep me at peace. You hear me?
That's right. And you know what I had to
learn about that.
Girl, that's it. And you know, I used to get so mad because when certain things would arise, and my husband used to be so calm about it. And I'm all out there. I want to take my earrings off. I want to put on my tennis shoes. And
there you go. You got something keeping you calm.
He be so calm about it.
And people don't like that.
And then I used to be mad with him because I'm like, why you ain't mad like I'm mad?
People
and I mean,
like
one day my baby told me, he said, "Well, don't be mad for. God
That's
got that.
Exactly.
Hey, baby, I got you. I'm here. Woosah and keep it moving. We outside today, ain't I? And I'd be like, yeah. Because let me tell you something. If it was not for, you know what? One thing about I learned, when we,
We speaking good down like
Let me
that.
tell
We
you
ain't being
something.
drama, so they, they ain't allowed.
When we be growing up and we be in relationships and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and we be that made all these choices,
Correct.
we never know who God put in our path to be our husbands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like we all got a past, so it is what it is.
What?
But God know who you need for what you need it for.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? And I sit down and think about
But God said, "Don't be no fool." Either.
No, God ain't say be no fool. But what I'm saying is, when I walked this walk that I walked almost 5 years ago, God knew the man that I needed to be on my side for what I had to endure.
Right.
Because he knew I needed this strong man that was going to be there to keep me grounded and keep me rooted. Even though, now, let's be clear, God had me now.
Right.
God had me. But in the midst
Correct.
of it, God knew what I needed to keep me sane. Because let me tell you something, baby. Closing a casket on a child.
It's another type of pain.
When your husband, wife, or something, you're a widow. When your parents die, they say you're motherless, you're fatherless. It is no term for when you lose a child. It ain't, and I ain't talking about just the gun violence. I'm talking about just period. Somebody you done care for 9 months, that you done raised, you done nurtured. That's one of the worst pains ever. And I remember that night, and I said, when I got in my car, I said, God, you got to help me.
Right.
I was like I'm talking, I'm in the car, I'm like, God, now listen here, bro. This how I'm talking. I say, now, bro, now, I might ain't been all good, but I ain't been all bad either. I say, but I trust you. I say, and I'm leaning and I'm depending on you at this moment.
Correct.
Because I need you now like never before. You understand what I'm saying? And I remember going home and I was just crying. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I cried so hard that night, y'all. I watched the sun rise. Like I literally sat up all night and I watched the sun rise. It was not one time that I questioned God. Because I always remember people who say you're not supposed to question God, but my pastor was like, you can question God because he knows you're gonna question him.
Right, correct.
But at that moment I wasn't even thinking about questioning. I was just like God, like I really need you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, I watched the sun rise. I sat up all night, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, like, I just sat there and I kept saying, this is my life, like, this is my life, this is my life, this is my life. I got up that morning, got myself together. You know, you got to go handle your business and do all that stuff, right? And me and my husband was fine and we was talking. And I remember he said, you know, I got you. And I was like, yeah. He was like, no. When I say I got you, dog, I got you. Like, this how we talking, right? I'm sorry, y'all, if I get a little emotional. Because people don't be understanding
okay.
how deep,
You supposed to.
how deep it get,
you being
and how real stuff get.
Right.
We take people for granted so bad. Not just our mates, our family members, our loved ones, our friends. We, as people, we take people for granted. And when people no longer want to be used and no longer, and they light bulb click on to be like, you know what, I'm not allowing you to take me for granted no more. Now you're the bad person. Yeah. But you got to understand, God only going to give you that good person for a little while.
Right.
And if you don't do what you're supposed to do with what God gives you, God will take it away from you.
Take it right away from you.
So you got to stop feeling like, oh, guess what? It can't happen to me. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, it can.
One thing about death, it ain't tailor-made. It's made for anybody. I lost my son to gun violence, but guess what? You can lose your child too. I done seen a child die choking on popcorn. It could be anything. We got to stop thinking we are exempt. But when God put people in your life to love you and genuinely be there for you, don't take it for granted. Because guess what? I can remember circumstances and situations where people ain't have nobody, but they had that one person in their life that kept them and was there for them. But you'll go and act like somebody else was there for you all along. Give people their flowers.
Because I sure received mine today.
And they beautiful.
I sure received mine today.
But you got to give people their flowers.
And it's so crazy because I ain't talked to this person in over a year and a half. But baby, she seen her all that. Pulled up, gave me a hug, brought me flowers. all that. That's that growth.
And not only that, you will have people that genuinely love you. For
That's
real.
that growth.
But
You hear
guess
me?
what? They ain't have to go tell Facebook they brought you flowers and they came
Correct.
and hugged you.
They ain't have to tell
They
nobody.
did it out of
They did
you.
it out
You might have told me, but
Right.
Yeah.
You at the kindness of your heart.
yeah,
People know.
yeah,
They know you genuinely.
Yeah.
They know you genuinely.
yeah,
You ain't gotta be messing with nobody on that level, or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, they spoke to nobody. But when a person know your character and they know your heart and they see you hurt, they gonna pull up.
yeah.
They gonna pull up.
But I learned that we have to give people their flowers. And guess what? You know what? Another thing, you never know who God gonna send your way to bless you.
Correct.
That was a blessing.
Cause I ain't even gonna tell y'all no lie. Past couple of days, like it's been hell.
Yeah,
Just to see these flowers today,
yeah. It made a difference.
that it made a big difference.
Yeah. That's love, though.
It made a big difference.
And not only that, even flowers, phone calls, texts, people don't be understanding. Sometimes it be the little small,
the
simple
small
stuff.
things.
It be the small things. It, like you say, flowers. That's beautiful. That somebody even took the time to
Think
be
about.
like, they think about you.
I seen the hurt. That's all she said. I seen your hurt. I seen it.
Been there, done. Been there.
I'm here.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Here you go.
yeah,
Y'all better let people give y'all their flowers while you here.
yeah,
Don't let people keep stepping on you and you feel like you gotta accept it.
yeah.
Let people know you at this point in life. Like this a season now where I feel like people should wake up.
That's right. Because guess
Hold
what?
people accountable, set boundaries with people.
And that's the thing we don't set. Let me tell you
We
something.
don't.
Sometimes I used to be like, with my husband, I used to be like, dang, he's so cold. Like I used to feel like when certain things happen with certain people and he just cut them off. I used to be like, well, dang.
What?
Yeah, like,
Lord.
I used to be like, well, dang, how you do that? But now I get it. Because guess what? That's what I do now.
Yeah.
And then he'll joke and say, how you hold your head up? I don't know. Guess what I do, y'all?
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Because I learned, if you don't start cutting people out and you keep allowing them to do it, it becomes a repeated cycle.
It does. And
then not only does it become a repeated cycle, it starts taking your peace, making you be this person that you are normally.
It had you feeling.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I'm telling you, you be like, man, you be so. Oh God,
Yeah,
like
you do.
it's hard to explain.
No, but I know what you mean, and it be like you have this weight on you.
It does,
and it's like you can't shake it.
Can't shake it,
and you be like, well, dang, why I can't shake it? Because guess what? Let me tell you something.
Heart. That's
not only that, and you know what I realized too. People think I'll be being funny. I don't let everybody come in my house. You know why?
They got them energies,
spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? Prime example. You could be around somebody and they be done had an altercation with they mate or something. It jump on you. You go home and you start arguing for no reason.
You start listen, and you know what? Let me tell you something. My husband told me that the other day. He said, "Man, you gotta stop that.
Yeah,
you gotta stop letting people get to you.
Yeah,
because guess what? When you let them people get to you bring that shit home to me, and I ain't did nothing to you.
That's right, for real.
And then I had to think about it. I said, you know what?
That's right.
I gotta set these boundaries. Because
we do it all the time. Because guess what? I done did it. And then my husband have to check me and be like, baby, listen, I understand that you mad.
Yeah.
But they ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand, but it's growth and learning.
Most definitely.
But I learned now. Because guess what? I ain't doing it.
Correct.
And that's just what it is.
Correct.
And I'ma love me. And guess what? If you rock with me, I rock with you. If you don't rock me, I ain't rocking with you. Ain't no hard feelings. I ain't mad. It is what it is.
Listen, I done come to the conclusion now that people don't like you taking you back.
And it's okay.
You setting boundaries with them.
And it's okay. Because if you can't
respect
my boundaries, then I mean we ain't rocking for real.
Correct.
That's it. If you can't, because guess what? Just for an example. If I got an appointment at 5:00, I can't come up in here at 5:30 think you still gonna do my nails when my appointment was at 5:00.
Correct.
Because guess what? If I walk up here at 5:30 and you be like, "Sis, I can't do your nails. You're supposed to be here at 5 o'clock." How I'm gonna be mad?
Right.
Because guess what? We setting boundaries.
Right.
And
That's
we
the
had
whole
this
thing.
conversation.
The boundaries.
Because guess what?
Some boundaries need to be set.
Guess what? Because I remember that a person called you and was like, "Oh, I want to get my nails done. I'll pay you in 2 weeks." But you was just at the mall. No, for real. I'm serious.
Dead serious.
Dead serious. And I said, well, they were just at the mall. So why they got to pay you in 2 weeks? Because guess what? The next 2 days, we seen them at the Uche getting their nails done. You ain't tell the Uche you was going to pay them in 2 weeks. You had their money.
Correct.
And I told her, I said, you have to start setting boundaries.
That's what I do.
Because if you don't, people going to keep thinking that they can do that.
They can keep doing what they do to you.
And it's wrong.
And don't set them boundaries. When you set them boundaries, you're going to lose a lot of people.
And it's okay, guess what? But then you ice got to remove and reveal. Yeah. So guess what? When you losing them people that God knew that they need to be removed. And he had to reveal them first and then he had to remove them. Don't ice got to be revealed and removing, and then all these people going, you be like, well, what happened? God said you asked me to reveal and remove. You asked me to remove them, and so that's what I did. You asked me to do. I removed them right on out. So you can't be mad. You have to take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving, and that's just what it is. Right. And I'm like, the old people, ain't nobody mad but the devil. Correct. So that's what it is. So guess what? At the end of the day, we're gonna keep us being held accountable. Either you hold yourself accountable or you don't. But guess what? If you know, that's between you and God. Correct. Long as I know I got an open heart and a good heart and I did everything that I'm supposed to do. And guess what? If I want you and I was warm enough to say I apologize, if you felt like I want you, even if I didn't feel like I want you, I'm warm enough to say I apologize. And guess what? Either you accept my apology or you don't. But I didn't do what I'm supposed to do, and that's it. Sometimes you can pick up the pieces and move on. Sometimes you can't. And guess what? However it play out, you just let God handle it. Most definitely. I feel you on that. Most definitely. Most definitely. Y'all. So, yeah. We gon' I'm going to tell y'all. Oh, go ahead, sir. Because we're going to close with a prayer. Most definitely. We got to close with a prayer because the devil been too busy. Don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to let loose things that continue to have your mind not at ease. You not at peace. You coming out of character. You not being able to be who you are. Because you can be everything to a person, which is holding yourself accountable, but when you wrong them to a person that's not holding themselves accountable, they're going to feel like you done did everything under the sun wrong to them. So I'm to a point in my life now where I can't control people. And I would no longer pacify people. And I would no longer tell people what they did to me. I'm not finna no longer make me feel like I'm the bad person to make one thing about the people know what they done did. I ain't got to tell you what you did to me. Right. You know what you done did. I ain't got to tell you. I ain't got to tell the neighbor. I ain't got to tell nobody. You know what you did, and guess what? That's on you. That's on you and God. I'm not going out my way saying, oh, Cat did this to me, Twin did. I'm not doing, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Cuz did this to me, such and such. At the end of the day, you know what you did, and guess what? You just have to stand on it. And that's it. That's just what it is. We're at the point. I'm not going around saying, oh, Cat did such and such. Cat know what Cat did, and that's what it is. I'm past that. Cause guess what? Long as I know I ain't wrong with you, right? It is what it is. Y'all hold people accountable for what they do to you. I don't care who it is. Hold people accountable. That shit will change a lot of things. Yeah. But this not only that, you have to start. Don't wait to hold them accountable. Even if you, for an example, if you meet somebody, a new client, you say be here 3 o'clock, baby, come 3:15, baby. The boundaries, set them boundaries. You have to set boundaries. Because you gotta set boundaries. We don't set boundaries and we keep allowing people to do stuff. And then it becomes one thing to another, and then it becomes a headache to a heartache. Correct. Because I guess what? We have headaches, then we have heartaches. But had we lived with the headache, we wouldn't have never had a heartache. Correct. So, boundaries. But I feel like accountability only comes from a person that's willing to accept it. Agree. And when you're willing to accept and hold yourself accountable for your actions,
you got to be willing to change.
Agreed.
And in order to change, you got to be willing to grow. And I feel like a lot of people don't be ready to grow. They be stuck in their own mindset until something major happens.
But that's their loss.
Right.
That's their loss. At the end of the day, long as you keep elevating and let God use you and move you, guess what? Just like Saul in the Bible. The Bible told his wife don't love bite. Or you want to turn into a pillar of salt. Guess what? Baby want to love bite. And guess what happened? Guess what? Everything ain't meant for us to look bite. With God moving you forward, you got to move forward. Whatever God leave in the background and in the bite scene, let God handle that. That's all we can do. We if you're gonna pray, why worry? If you're gonna worry, why pray?
Yeah.
That's it.
So I mean, God been good to me, y'all. I'm in my season where
Let God be God.
I'm forgiving. I'm forgetting the past. Like, you gotta, in order to heal, you gotta change your mindset mentally. I no longer allow things to bother me that I used to. You know what I'm saying?
And you can't control it and you can't change it, so
I
why?
can't control it, correct. So you know what I'm saying?
Allow things that you cannot change and control to hold you down.
Holding me accountable. I'm taking back me.
That's right. I'm basically taking back what the devil thought he stole from me.
What he stole from me.
That's it.
If I misjudge anybody off of somebody else's opinion, I'm holding myself accountable. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If
I wrong you,
right,
and I ain't know I wrong you, I apologize.
Correct. I'm owning. I'm owning.
We
I'm owning me.
We owning us.
I'm holding myself accountable.
That's right. So
you know, I can't speak for nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And this the journey that I've been going through. God just been revealing to me like who really for me. Cause it be the least person that you least suspected. You know that'll come through for you.
Yeah. So I mean, God, at the end of the day, one thing about God might not come when we want him to come, but one thing about it, number one, he gonna always be on time.
Correct.
And he gonna show us. God ain't gonna never put us in a situation where we just be blind. He show us along the way. It's just that we put the blinders on and we turn our head and we sweep it under the rug. But this is the season for holding people accountable, forgiving, loving, and moving on.
Most definitely.
And that's just what it is.
And if people don't want your love, don't force it on them.
You can't, and don't worry about it.
Don't force it on them. You can't change people. They're not ready to change. Hey, as the saying say, let them go. If they come back, then it was me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You got to free people.
That's it. And that's what it is. So, at the end of the day, y'all, we love y'all. I'm going to let the house lady say what she got to say. Then we're going to, hey, we're going
to rock out with a prayer.
We're going to rock out with a prayer.
I'm to the point now where, as again, I'm gonna say I hold me accountable. If especially to the people that's watching and that's gonna watch it. Yeah. At some point, I feel like I got out of character, but hey, I'm human. We all fall short on things, and if you know what I'm saying, if I didn't, then hey, that wouldn't be who I am, but that's me. You know what I mean? If I wronged anybody or you feel like I wronged you, this is me. I ain't got no bad vibes. Ain't no love lost. I'm just in a place now where when you show me how you fuck with me, you can't fuck over me ever again. That's where I'm at in life. The love's still here, but it's a different type now. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you know how you was with a person and how you is with a person and have been for a person. That shit just hit different.
Yeah.
When a motherfucker move around like you ain't never did nothing for him. Like, you ain't who you say you is, or you don't want to own up to your wrongs. Basically, what the night the podcast been tonight, holding yourself accountable for your actions. Not nobody else's actions, because I can't speak on them, but I'm speaking on you. Nobody want to be grown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to point fingers.
Yeah.
But me, I'm my own me every day, all day. So all I can say is, you know what I'm saying, if I wronged anybody, hey, I'm sorry. No, ain't no love lost. It's just not, I just know what to accept and not, I'm not setting my boundaries.
Right.
It ain't gonna be that no more. That's just the way I'm at,
Yeah.
because I know everybody, people gonna watch it, people gonna see you. People feel like if they keep doing what they doing to you and you keep accepting it, they're gonna keep doing it. The shit only went along for so long is because I allowed it. I didn't have them boundaries set. But me, I'm taking back me. First of all, my self love. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta love me first.
Yeah.
I can't give out love if I ain't loving me correctly.
That's right.
The second one is self loyalty. I gotta be loyal to myself before I can feel like I could be loyal to somebody else. And most definitely, that's self respect. If I ain't around here disrespecting me, I can't let you or nothing attached to you disrespect me. And that's just where I'm at. We're holding me accountable and setting boundaries in my life. Nah, that's where I'm at. And like I said before I started this pod, whatever I say tonight on this pod, I'm being me. Take it to the head, don't take it to the heart. Because people can take whatever you say to the heart and they move differently. When I mean take it to the head, take it to the head. What I mean, what I'm saying, take heed to it.
Period.
And y'all, we're not gonna hold y'all long. We're gonna end it on a prayer. And Sugar Mama gonna take us out.
Y'all ready? Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, God, first of all, we want to just thank you, God, for this podcast, Lord. We want to thank you, God, for the ones that listen and the ones that's going to listen later. Lord, we ask you, God, that we just hope that we were just able to touch somebody, God. Maybe whether it was just 1 or 10 or 100, Lord. Lord, we thank you. God, we ask you right now, God, we just ask you to continue to strengthen us where we're weak. Build us up, God, where we're torn down. God, we ask you to just continue to just protect us from things seen and unseen, known and unknown, Heavenly Father, God. God, we ask you right now, God, first of all, God, if it was anything we said or done, God, that was not like you, God, we ask you to forgive us, Heavenly Father, God. God, we ask you right now, God, to build and mend fences right now, God. God, we ask you to mend broken hearts right now, God. God, we ask you to give us a peace that surpasses our understanding, Heavenly Father, God. God, but most of all, God, we ask you to just, God, continue to protect us, our loved ones, God. One by one, God, and name by name. God, we ask you, anybody that came on our podcast, God, we ask you, if they're dealing with anything mentally, physical, and emotional, God, God, we ask you to heal them, God. God, because, God, you are a God of healer. God, and also you are a God of second chances, God. God, and we ask you to be a God of second chances. But God, also we ask you right now, God, let this podcast go out to be something positive, God. It was nothing negative, God, and we know that even when you seek good, evil is always present, God. God, but we ask you right now, God, that we ask you to just bind up anything, God, that is not like you. God, and we'll be so gracious and honored to give you all the glory, the honor, and the praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Much prayer, much power. Little prayer, little power. If it's no prayer, then it's no power. One love, be safe. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend, and we out.
And God bless.